Hello, and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City, brought to you by Sierra Nevada Ballet, presenting Cinderella. Visit their website, sierranevadaballet.org, for tickets and more information. I'm your host, Cortney Bloomer, and joining me today is Lisa Lee from Advocates to End Domestic Violence. Lisa, welcome.
Hi, Courtney.
We're so happy that you're here. Advocates has their big annual fundraiser coming up in the Taste of Downtown event. Tell us a little bit about how Taste got started.
You know, this is our 23rd year, and it's hard to remember back 23 years ago, but 23 years ago, downtown was really an eyesore. And it was just starting to start realizing that we needed to renovate and come alive. And I happened to be down there for lunch at a little restaurant in the back of a bar, and it was the Wild Scallion. And I thought, hang on, there's some cute little restaurants down here. If we could get people to come down here and see that Carson City is really coming alive again. So from that, we thought, okay, we'll just do a little walking tour of the restaurants, and it kind of kept growing and growing and growing.
All right. And 23 years later, this year's Taste of Downtown is going to take place in a downtown that's under construction.
I know, isn't that a challenge? I think it's kind of exciting because you get to see what's going on. Most of us have been avoiding driving downtown. I, on the other hand, drive down every single day as often as I can to see which streets are going on. But most people have been avoiding it. So this is giving people a really great opportunity to walk it. And then next year they're going to, when they walk it again, they're going to say, oh, I see. And it's going to hopefully give people the encouragement to realize what our city is going to look like.
Right. Come downtown. Taste of Downtown this year has been moved from its traditional time. It's always happened in June. This year it's going to be on July 23rd. What was the reason for the move?
The Epic Ride. They wanted that weekend, and they had the potential to really bring a lot of tourism to Carson City. So when they asked for that weekend, we thought it was helpful to the city to move the Taste.
The Taste is still going to be a huge draw. I know that restaurants are still signing up to participate in this event. How many do you have right now?
We have 37 restaurants, and we usually almost always have someone who signs up after we've already gone to print. But, it goes about 13 city blocks, and we have a trolley to help you and get around. We're going to have 6 live bands going on. And it's really perfect. I mean, July, summertime, can you have a better time to be outside and with a hat on and just strolling around with your friends?
Really, just in the evening, it's such a nice spot to be downtown. And as you mentioned, the Taste is fairly expansive, as far south as Reds and some of those restaurants that are down there south of downtown, all the way up through the downtown
all the way
corridor.
up to the Nugget. So, and then we have a lot of restaurants that come in that are not in that area that want to participate and still show what they have, because this is such a great opportunity for restaurants and for us, the ticket holders, to get to see what's out there. We all kind of get locked into our little routine. It's Tuesday night. I don't want to cook, so I'm going to go. And it's really nice to see what else is new and what's different, and, maybe rediscover something or discover a restaurant you've never been to before. And to see the, like Mystique is a brand new restaurant downtown that a lot of people haven't been exposed to. It's a great opportunity to go in there and see it. And it's a great one to just rediscover Garibaldi's, this is their 22nd year. They have been in nearly every single year that we have done the Taste. So it's great to see, what downtown does have to offer.
So for people who haven't attended the Taste before,
well, they've been under a rock. So.
Well, obviously, it is one of the can't miss events each year in Carson City. But for folks who haven't been there before, explain a little bit about how the Taste works, the wristbands and the voting and all of that.
You get a wristband, and we encourage you to start at a certain one so that we don't have everybody starting at one spot. We can only sell 2,000 tickets because it's a lot of effort for the restaurants to put on. So you get a wristband, and you get to go to a map that shows you, kind of guides you through the process, and you get to go to all 37 restaurants, or pick
as many as you can get to
until you kind of say, oh my gosh, I can't do this again.
I never make it through all of the restaurants.
Every year there's always a group that tries, And sometimes they do. So people will stop me at the information booth to show me their wristband. Look at this, I made it through, 2/3. I'm like, good for you. And you're still standing? Now they're laying on the curb somewhere, just, trying to digest. But then you get to move along the route. We have a lot of shops that are open, and they really, love to be open. They encourage you to come in and see places that you didn't
Some of the
really
art
know.
galleries over on the west side, and some great
Like
little
Two
shops
Sisters
along
are
the way.
always doing it, About Face. And one of our bigger, funner supporters is always Mark at the Carson Jewelry and Loan. And he always goes out of his way to entice people in with something and has a great raffle and things like that. So, especially with the sidewalks being torn up and all the businesses really, struggling this last few months, it's a great opportunity to come out and support them as well. And to say, we're still happy you're here and you're going to stay in business and you're going to help our downtown thrive.
Right. Tickets. Where can we get tickets?
You can get your tickets you can either go to the Purple Avocado, which is over there on Curry Street. You can come to our thrift store at 411 Hot Springs Road. Classy Seconds. You can call us at 883-7654 and we can do it over the phone. Or you can go to Taste of Downtown Carson City and buy it online. And you can get it that way. And then we'd have those at the information booth, and it's a will call. We'll have those, and you pick them up. Or you can go to the other locations and actually get your physical ticket.
All right. And how much are they?
They're $40. We keep it about the same every year. It'll be $45 the day of, but before that it's $40.
So head downtown the day
Bring a
of,
hat.
And it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. Are you doing the little plates again this year?
There will be some plates for the first couple. At the thing, we'll also be giving away a fan, for the first few, couple hundred people who show up to do that. I always suggest that they wear comfortable shoes, they bring some extra cash, and they have a nice hat, and they park where they want to end up. So if you think you're going to end up on 3rd Street, or if you think you're going to end up on Telegraph, kind of park in that area, and then you can start anywhere. And then the trolley will be running about every 15 minutes. So, and also, I always tell people, don't eat for the whole day. Come with an appetite.
Come with an appetite. Come hungry.
Hungry.
I have tried different strategies for this. I have thought like, if I don't eat all day, I'll be able to eat more. I still can't get through. I thought, well, maybe I should have a light lunch to just kind of, get my stomach ready to have dinner at the Taste.
Or I'll avoid this and I'll only focus on, and I'll
but there are always too many tempting options.
Oh, the smell.
No matter what your strategy is, when you get there, it is going to be a struggle to get around to.
It is. Well, we
all
have
of the
Black Bear,
restaurants.
and they were giving me a list of stuff they were going to be doing, and I was looking at that list going, that's a buffet.
Right. There are always a couple that are like that. I remember in past years there have been a number of restaurants they go and they're like, here's a little bit of a sandwich and here's some of our
Pasta
side dish and
and
here's a dessert.
Oh,
And you're like, well, that alone is like what I normally eat
Yeah,
for dinner.
and you're just going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Yeah, when I've looked at some of them, I'm like, oh my goodness, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely getting your money's worth with your $40 ticket. And you're not just paying for the food, you're paying for a great cause.
You know what is really plus for us is that as a nonprofit, you need to raise so much money a year to keep your doors open. And we have a shelter for victims and their children. And it's expensive to provide advocacy. We were taking in a client last night with 4 children at 2 o'clock in the morning. And so it's really wonderful to have an event that people get so behind and support, and we're not having to, really strong arm people to, buy a ticket for a chicken dinner or something like that. And it's something that people get to come out, and whether they're really doing it for the shelter, or they're doing it because it's a street party, or they're doing it to see their old friends and neighbors, or they're doing it just because they're curious to see what's left of Carson Street, any of those things, it benefits our shelter and it keeps our doors open. So it has really been a wonderful event for us to host annually and get the city behind.
Absolutely. For people who don't know, just speak briefly about some of the important work that Advocates does here in Carson City, aside from the shelter.
We have a 24-hour crisis line, and that's where most people come into contact with us. And then we also do the domestic violence, but we have a teenage dating violence prevention program where we go into the junior high and the high school, and we explain warning signs, and we give you some tools in case you end up or you are in a relationship that has the potential to become violent, so that you don't end up in a long-term cycle, and we're not taking you in with your 4 kids at 2 o'clock in the morning whenever you're 24 at some point. We also do our SARA program, which is our Sexual Assault Response Advocates, and that's a 24-hour program that we respond to rapes and sexual assaults in Carson City and go through the whole forensic exam with you in the court and the legal components and helping you relocate and get through the legal issues with that as well. And we have our thrift store, which has been, we started as a way for our clients to have an opportunity to have clothing and furniture and everything else when they relocated, and it's mushroomed into a very strong support for our programs.
And it's such a cute little shop.
It is fun.
It's so fun to go into Classy Seconds and see what kind of treasures
you always see something different.
Every time.
It's always, we always keep a little shelf of the odd things that nobody knows what they are when they come in the back door, and we always have a little quiz. Well, what do you think that could be? So we find some. We've had everything. We've had human ashes. We've had false teeth. We've had prosthetics. So there's always something different. And then the as seen on TVs, or, every time I see an ad for something, I'm like, okay, we're going to get a lot of those in 2 years.
They're going to start showing up.
Oh, it's that dancing trout, that one that sings "Takes Me to the River."
I know which one you're talking about.
Those are a favorite of ours that come through the bag. And people still buy them. So we still price them and put them on the floor, and somebody takes it home. So I'm like, yes.
They make great gag gifts.
They do. Somebody's laughing.
So for people who might be watching today's episode who are in crisis or who know someone who might need Advocates' help, how can they access those services?
We have a 24-hour call that you can call anytime. It's 883-7654. And if it's during the day, you're going to have a staff. If it's after hours, you're going to have a very dedicated trained volunteer with staff backup. And quite often people just call because they need someone to speak to. They just want to feel like they're not alone. And they're maybe not ready to leave, or maybe that's not an option for them, but they just want to talk to someone and maybe find a referral for help with utilities, or just have someone speak to them. And that gets the most use, is that number.
All right. Lisa Lee, thank you so much for the services that Advocates provides in our town. Everyone, go check out Taste of Carson City, downtown Carson City on July 23rd. Let people know one more time how they can get tickets.
You can call us at 883-7654. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can go to our website, and you can get that through our Advocates to aedv.org as well. You can go that way, and it'll link you over. And we'll be putting up our website on the screen for you.
All right. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing everyone downtown. I will be there
with a hat on,
as every year, and really looking forward to this really fun community event and really showcasing some of the great businesses that Carson City has to offer.
Thank you.
All right, and thanks to all of you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City, brought to you by Sierra Nevada Ballet. Check out sierranevadaballet.org for more information on upcoming performances and tickets. If you'd like to sponsor a future edition of It's Your City, contact Darla at the address shown on your screen. I'm Courtney Bloomer. We'll see you next week.